that's what you want to hear when you go to meetings to write IEPs, right? This is what you want to hear. I want to make sure it's not upside down.
That was easy.
Yes. If you need some new advocacy tools for your Advocacy Toolbox, you've come to the right place. So we are going to be talking about how using our thinking caps are going to be helpful, or maybe looking at things through another lens. That might be worthwhile to try. How about highlighters? Now you may be saying, Charmaine, how are highlighters a worthwhile advocacy tool that I want to make sure is in my Advocacy Toolbox? And stay tuned because we're going to talk about that. I also want to make sure you have a roadmap in your Advocacy Toolbox because we want a clear beginning and a clear path for your child to go on so he's making progress, right? And how about those light bulb moments where you just are like, aha, getting new ideas from people, bouncing ideas off of other people, talking to other parents because we're going to have this wonderful membership group I'm going to tell you about. So new ideas, that's going to be something that's really important. And then our ever popular easy button, right?
That was easy.
We want to make your child's life at school and your life easier. We want it to be easier to get that individualized education plan that's really going to help your child. When you look at what your big dreams are, we want to make sure every school year is a step closer to that big dream. So come with me because we have some new exciting opportunities that I'm just blown away because it's going to be fun, it's going to be interactive. We're going to, what do you call it? Inaugurate a new online class for families. And what I'm saying and calling it is a way that you can get new advocacy tools for your toolbox so that your child is safe, happy, and learning at school. Because that's what we want, right? That's what's really important, is for our kids to be engaged and motivated at school. That they're spending their day learning new things, but through their strengths. So we can learn how to build on their strengths more. And we want them to be successful. We want to come to the end of the school year and say, yay, where's my celebration? This is another tool you need. Because at the end of the year, we want to be celebrating all the wonderful things that happened that school year. Now you may be thinking, Charmaine, this is not going to happen. This is not my experience. I do not see this as a possibility. You don't know the teachers that my child has. You don't know the school or the district where I live. But let me tell you, it is possible. Now, if you don't know me, if we haven't met yet, I'm Charmaine Tanner. I'm a retired teacher. I was a special education and a general ed teacher. I'm an author of a #1 best-selling book on Amazon. I'm a parent of a child who happens to have Down syndrome. And I'm a professional advocate for other families. And as I work with families, I often hear how daunting it can be to go to meeting after meeting after meeting at school. And you feel like you're just giving token input. You're not really an equal member of the team. And so when I hear from families that that is still happening, even year after year after year, that their child's in receiving special ed services, it's like this has got to change. We need to make sure our kids are happy, safe, and learning at school. So I have this online class that I've put together and developed for you. There's 7 different modules, like kind of mini lessons. Let's go through these and see what you'll be learning in our Advocacy Tool Box class. Module 1 is when you'll be digging deeper into the IEP. And this is when you're going to need your 3 highlighters because we're going to be using a yellow, a green, and a pink highlighter. Now, if you were just in our IEP scavenger hunt, we used highlighters, but we only kind of dipped our toe into the IEP. In this online course, we're going to go into a lot more depth and detail. And we want to make sure that we find the strengths in your child's IEP. And if they're not there, that's what we're going to change. That's one of the first things that we want to look at changing. So Module 1 will be digging a little bit deeper into your child's IEP. Module 2 is the must-haves that you want to see in your child's IEP. So we're going to go into detail for 5 critical areas of your child's IEP. We're going to be looking at the present levels of academic achievement and functional performance. We're going to be looking at the annual goals and objectives section in the IEP, accommodations and modifications, services and supports, and least restrictive environment. So those 5 areas are going to be the main ones that we look at during this online course. Now, Module 3 is maybe, one of my favorites because it's going to be about multiple intelligences. And what you might have heard is, it's not how smart your child is, it's how is your child smart. So you're going to be learning about the 9 different types of intelligences, and we're going to help you figure out which type of intelligence your child uses most when they're learning new things, and which of those 9 types of intelligences your child doesn't use very often. And you might say, well, Charmaine, what's that got to do with class and IEPs and everything else? Well, to me, the more we know about your child, the more we know about his strengths, the more we know about how he learns best. We can incorporate that into the IEP, and it just transforms your IEP. Instead of being something that's really deficit focused, we want to build a strengths-based IEP for your child. So that's what we're going to be doing. In Module 4, it's called Ready, Set, Go. And this is when you're going to need your roadmap. If your child has short-term objectives, those should be the little stops along the way for that big goal that your child has to accomplish. If you don't have a clear roadmap of where you're going, if you have goals that are like so much educational jargon, it's like, what is this? If everybody on the IEP team interprets that goal in another way, that's a problem. We want the goals to be meaningful, and we want the goals to be understood by everybody. Because when people leave that meeting and they go back, and there's some teachers or some therapists or some paras that weren't at the IEP meeting, and somebody has to try to explain to them what the goals are, If we're not all on the same page, your child loses out. So in this module, we're going to talk about how to bring everybody together and write goals that make sense and that everybody understands. So then in module 5, it's going to be about accommodations and modifications. And this is another one of my favorite topics because I love bouncing ideas off of other parents, bouncing ideas off of teachers. The more ideas that we can generate, the more opportunities there are for our children. So instead of picking up an IEP and seeing generic, vague accommodations written in that section, we want to see how to bring in that learning strategy that your child uses, that type of intelligence that they use when they're learning new things. And we want to incorporate that into the list of accommodations. And this time we're going to make them specific. And we're going to talk to the teachers and say, does this accommodation really work or not? I mean, so many times as an advocate, when I read IEPs and I look at the year before's IEP, it's like, what? This list of accommodations and modifications looks like it was cut and pasted and just plopped into this new IEP. And that's a red flag. We don't want that happening. So in the class, in this online course that we're offering, that's one of the specific things that we'll be addressing. In Module 6, we're going to be thinking outside of that special ed room. So this is a time where you might need a tool where you have a set of different lenses that you're going to use. And this is going to help you remember that there's a lot of ways that our kids can be successfully included in general education classrooms. If you're in a district where they look at your child's label and they say, oh, you're in the severe needs class. Or they look at your child's label and they say, oh, autism? Oh, okay. Well, we've got this school over here in the district. That's where all the kids with autism go. If that is happening, we want to change that. Because we want your staff and your teachers and everybody that's working with your child to understand that there are ways we can bring services and supports to your child in the general ed classroom. So that will be something that we focus on from Module 6. Module 7, we're going to take that inclusion one step further. And now we're going to be talking about advocating for inclusion on a much larger level. Because the reality is, when you advocate for your child and make positive change for your child, you're blazing a trail for others. But you know what? That trail gets overgrown so easily. So I want us to think not only how are things going to be different for my child, but if I want my child included, what are some ways that I can make sure we can advocate for that? So that's what Module 7 will be about. So all of these, like I said, will be on the internet. They'll have different sections of each module. We'll do Facebook Live shows where we talk about the advocacy action steps that are going to be helpful for you to take. We'll have questions and answers going on. We'll have interactive activities. The nice thing about this is you can do this course at your own pace. Because the reality is we're busy moms, we're busy, workers, we're busy everywhere, every aspect of our life. So the online class is a way that you can reach out and take a bite of one of the modules when you have a chance. But I also want to tell you, it's not just those 7 modules that you'll be getting. Also, there's 4 awesome bonuses. And so the first bonus is that you'll be a member of our private Facebook group. And that's going to be a place where a lot of the support and the ideas and suggestions and trading of information is going to go on. And that's valued at $397 a year. Now, I need to let you know that the course you're going to have access to for life. So it's always going to live on the internet. The bonuses, you're going to have access for life. So when you join our online course and you get into our private membership group on Facebook, that is going to be your home away from home forever. So that's not going to close down. As long as Facebook is there, we'll have that membership group for you. So that was going to be that first bonus, is our private Facebook group. Our second bonus is I'm already going to have ready for you a couple mini classes. And one is from our IEP scavenger hunt, which we just finished last week. And the other mini course I'm going to have is thinking outside of the IEP boxes, which is about more creative problem solving. And the value of those 2 mini classes is $497. And then I'm also going to have a section in our course library where there are done for you letter templates that you can use. I have a great letter of parents requesting to review educational records, and there's 28 specific things in that letter that are considered educational records, like, did you know, emails. Any emails where the conversation includes your child or yourself, those are educational records. So when you request records, you want to make sure that you have this template, because it's going to spell out all 28 things that you should be reviewing and hopefully getting copies of. So another bonus that we have is that we're going to have monthly live shows where we just do Q&A. Because again, I think when we have time to answer specific questions, it makes the course so much more meaningful for you. So I want to make sure we have enough time. The question and answers will be, shows will be a group. But now, as founding members of our group, our class is going to be smaller this time, and we're going to have a lot of time for individualized help. So that's like a very worthwhile bonus. If you add up all those bonuses, they're worth $1,588. And if you look at the value of our 7-module course, which is worth $497, you combine that with all the bonuses, and you have a total value of $2,058. This is like the bargain of the year because we're going to only have, you have to invest $97, and you can join the online course and get all of those bonuses. So the thing is, you've got to really act now. I'll put the link for joining in the comment box on our Facebook page. So $97, one payment works for a lifetime. You don't ever have to pay another dime. However, after Tuesday, August 8th at midnight, Mountain Time, the course price will revert to the regular $279. So you want to make sure that you join now. And like I said, I'll put up the link in our comment box. But I'm excited, I'm ready, I'm like beyond thinking about how wonderful this online course is going to be for all of us. So if you're looking for that opportunity where you can add some more tools for your advocacy toolbox, so your child will be safe, happy, and learning with his classmates and his friends at school, this online class is for you. So I welcome you. If you have any questions, please type them in the Facebook comment boxes there. And after the show, I'll be sure to go in there and answer any questions. If you weren't able to watch our show live, the replay will stay up on my Visions and Voices Together Facebook page. So as I look and understand that we have just a wonderful opportunity to make a huge impact in positive ways for your child next school year. So let's do this together. Until I see you inside the course, I want to make sure that you're having a wonderful last few days of your summer, and we'll be getting ready for that new school year.